At the KSMO studio, it's time for us to sit down with our friends from the Dent County Extension. Mr. Ray Walden's made his way in. Good to see Ray. How's Ray doing today?
Okay, Stan, how are you doing?
Well, doing good, Ray. We're doing good. All right, we've got Ray in, and we're going to talk a little bit about some different things going on at the extension. Well, first off, there's been a little bit of a turnover, so there's some new people there, obviously, and you're kind of one of those coming in not too long ago, and it's just not as an easy transition because two reasons. Number one, it the University Extension is constantly in flux. It's changing and adding services all the time. So you're always doing that. And then you never know what the university's ever going to do because they make some changes here. And we know the reduction in specialists that, now livestock specialists cover 7 or 8 counties, and you yourself are covering 5 or 6 counties. So it makes it kind of a little bit difficult to really be able to take a big bite out of a county and know what they really need. And because Crawford County is different than Dent County, which is different in Texas County. Everybody's different, aren't they?
That's true, Stan. And as you mentioned, I've got 6 counties, 5 others besides Dent. So you have a county you're based out of, and then you make your rounds, to the other counties. And some specialists in other categories have more counties than I do. So, but you do what you can as you can, and with the funding situation in extension over the years in our state, that's just what we've had to do, and we continue to try to deliver the best services we can with available resources, and we've always done that, and we'll continue to
Sure.
do that. So it's like you said. So
Well, we had Kevin Kreider in, and that was one that the University Extension actually partnered with the Department of Conservation with, and that's why I said, sometimes you think, well, we would have no need for that, but then feral hogs became quite a bit of a problem in southern Missouri, and it was a great thing that the Extension and the Department of Conservation, and I think USDA is now on board with all of this to really try and eradicate these feral hogs. They need a central location, and what better way to, Kevin Kreider, great guy, and he was be able to center it out of Dent County Extension. It's a stopping point for him because the man's always out there checking damages and seeing how things are going. So that was another service that the extension started to offer.
it has created opportunity for partnerships, and we worked with have always worked with other organizations, but as needed, it's created some opportunities that we otherwise might not have seen before, and so it's been a positive thing when needed by necessity, to work with other organizations, and
Well, they don't have that expertise.
right,
Yeah.
right, and so not just financial resources, but sometimes content, expertise to work with others that have knowledge or resources, or equipment that we might not have. Together, we can, offer a service or do a program, that none of us might not be able to do by ourselves. Absolutely.
The extension, obviously, Ray, has been known for hay testing and soil testing, and that continues. Nothing's changed there. So if you need to be able to do that, you can contact the extension. They can give you all the information or the material you need to do that. But also, we talked, had Tom Haynes and also Charlie Grimm in last week, and Stephanie Wofford joined them, because it's time for our garden, our community garden, to get kind of in the high gear. March is here. I mean, not truly there yet, but I mean, it's just days away. And how important that has been to our community, and that's a part of the extension as well. We talk about the different arms of the extension. I don't think people realize how the tentacles actually go out and reach to so many different parts of the community.
That Master Gardener has been a good program for us over the years, and to provide not just important educational program, but also economical and nutrition program, in some of our communities, and we're glad that program's available here in Salem and Nick County for folks that are interested in that information, or that might need that as a source of nutrition, that are able to take advantage of that. And appreciate those volunteers that help make that available, because it
Right.
does take volunteers to, help with some of the physical aspects of the garden, and to help transfer, or that knowledge, and to invest in that kind of program. And a lot of our programs are require volunteers, whether it's for 4-H or a community garden, or almost fill in the blank. It relies on volunteers, and
Right.
we appreciate those that help make those programs possible.
Well, you mentioned 4-H, and that's always been a long-standing, real pride of our extension. Unfortunately, Amy has left, and she did a great job. We all remember Linda Sheldon. She did it for years, and we've had some extraordinarily fantastic people in charge of our 4-H programs, and it continues. 4-H continues through still the Dane County Extension.
It does, and I don't have an announcement other than I know they have been, that position, of course, has been posted, and they've had applicants that they've been interviewing over the last few weeks, and I would anticipate an announcement in the next few weeks on that position, and hopefully before this week's expo and
Right.
so forth.
Because the meetings are
it'd be
all
good.
coming up for the expo, and then the summer camps are all coming up as well. So,
Right. So again, I have no inside knowledge, and I wouldn't want to preempt any formal announcement. So,
Sure.
but I would anticipate an announcement soon.
But again, it just
on
shows
that.
the diversity of the extension and the different programs that they have involved in. And you've had some excellent 4-H leaders in all the different clubs for years, and that will help make it easier to bring in somebody.
It does make it an easier transition for whoever that next specialist might be, to work with our club volunteers and so forth, and that stability and that history, working with the clubs. And again, we appreciate those volunteers, and the program's strength relies on that, and couldn't be done without them. And so, we appreciate them having done what they've done over the years, and look forward to them working with that new specialist, once they are on the field.
Absolutely. Well, you just had your banquet on Friday. You want to kind of give us a real quick summary of what happened at the banquet?
Sure, that was last Friday, and was well attended, and we appreciate those who came out and attended the banquet. At the banquet, Sharon and Billy Schaefer were recognized as 2023 honor roll leaders, and that meant a lot to them, and it was the council's pleasure to recognize them for that. Our special speaker at the banquet was Dr. Annette Kendall from campus. She works with entrepreneurship in rural communities, and she has worked with some of the rural communities for connecting entrepreneurial communities. And at our banquet, she used as illustration Doug Dillard, and some of the illustrations from his life and career, and how people reached out to him, and he later in his career kind of paid it back, and how that can was an illustration of how you never know where an entrepreneur may come from, and
That's
how
right.
just a reminder for us to, be attentive to opportunities to nurture, people that might have an idea, or just to support people where they're at.
Sure.
And
give people a chance. Listen to what they actually have to say.
Sure.
A lot of times, and you know it, Ray, people come at it with an idea, and you immediately say, well, that's not going to work. In your head, you might think, you may not say it right to their face, but, you get that look about you like, that's not going to work. and they feel like they're talking to, the Tin Man or something, because they're not going to get a response. It's very difficult, and we all have great ideas. everybody has a great idea. I mean, I don't care what form of government you're in or what form of business you're in. You may come up with a great idea, but if you keep getting knocked back, you don't have any way of doing it. So open your ears to it, because there's a lot of times that maybe something in that idea all of a sudden lights a little light bulb, and well, wait a minute, you're right. That might be a real good part of this idea. So,
Sure.
and that's exactly how you get started with these young entrepreneurs. You know, Facebook didn't happen overnight. You had somebody thinking, I can do something and I can make it better. Or I can do something, I don't think anybody's tried this before.
Sure.
They step out on a limb on their own a lot of times. But other times it's good to have a little somebody saying, I'd look into that.
Right.
Give them a little push. And you're never going to know if you don't take a look into it, so why not?
Absolutely. A couple other things we did at the banquet was we thanked some of our sponsors. Of course, the county is a primary sponsor with our space, and support for our office, as well as the city and the Judson Young Foundation. We also passed out copies of our 2023 annual report. If anybody's interested in a copy of that, it's available on our website, or if they want to contact the office, that can be emailed, or they can pick up a hard copy of that, and we're glad to do that. I'd mentioned Connecting Entrepreneurial Communities Conference. The location for that for the next year is already scheduled, but that's something we're looking at, the possibility of hosting in Salem, if there would be interest in that. It draws community leaders from other communities, and then we could show off Salem and some of the things we've done here in Dent County, and would bring in speakers and just showcase best practices and new ideas, and it would provide something local for potential entrepreneurs here, to look at workshops and so forth, and available resources. And so that's something we'll gauge the interest in, and already had people indicate they'd be willing to work with me on a potential application for that. So we'll look at that. That would be 2025 would be the earliest, we might be able to get on that schedule. But if we pursue that and are successful, we would announce, the timing of that. That's usually in the fall. But anyway, the banquet went well, and we're just thankful, glad for those that came out and support us always. But the banquet kind of gives us a means to showcase that and celebrate, the year there.
Absolutely. Well, one of the other things, and people may not be aware of it, Ray, but and I know I became aware of it and talked to some people about it, is that the extension also offers some assistance. I mean, over at S&T, you have a building that you can go to, and you can get some information or get help in trying to figure out, maybe make your business better or make it grow, or maybe you have we go right back to being an entrepreneur, you have a great idea, you're not quite sure how to get it off the ground. There are a lot of specialists that the university has at their disposal, be it either Zoom or maybe an in-person conversation. I know I went over there, about 30 years ago, actually, just to see if there's something different that could have been done with the situation with radio stations at the time. And there really wasn't much at that time that they could help me with, but they gave me some insights saying, you might want to be looking in this direction, this direction, this direction, because things are going to be changing. And that was when, obviously, 30 years ago, computers were becoming more of a very big presence in everything. Instead of, somebody thinks the old radio station, you had turntables, you had card machines. things were moving in a direction of becoming more automated. And so that was one of the things that they were helping me out. But that's a great service that a lot of people forget that the extension has, and 95% of that is free.
Small Business Development Centers is a tremendous resource, and being close to the Rolla campus, where it's situated here, the physical, if you want the face-to-face part, is a tremendous resource.
Mm-hmm.
And they're part of larger networks where if you're looking at or interested in doing something unique, perhaps maybe government contracting or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. They have specialists in those areas where they can help you with those nuances about those requirements, and that's what they do. They walk you through how to get set up to be eligible to bid on government contracts and so forth. And you mentioned Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
that if you're not in a position scheduling wise or whatever to go to Rolla, they can do a lot remotely
Right.
over the phone or through Zoom or,
Mm-hmm.
through video. But it's a tremendous service. And as you mentioned, most of what they do is available at no charge. And they're very upfront if something does get into a situation where there's would be a charge. They're very upfront about that,
Right.
but most of that's offered at a no cost basis, and that's what they're there for, is to support businesses. And sometimes people use them to maybe help develop a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're looking to apply for a business loan or something, and they can help with that. And they're kind of your partner, and but they can help you think out loud and as a sounding board for ideas, and that's a tremendous resource.
Sometimes people are in a business that is so closely related to some other business, and this is an opportunity for you to go over there and maybe tell them what you do, and then they can sit there and say, well, have you looked into this, or have you looked into this? I know when I was over there, we talked about everything from angel funding to different types of investments, to solidifying the balance sheets and the income statements, and the different ways about going about that. So there's a lot of people over there that can give you a lot of insight. They may not have the perfect answer for your situation, but they can give you a way to look at it maybe in a different light than what you currently are, that you can find something that, okay, yeah, that's going to fit into my niche perfectly. Where, Ray, if you don't hear from somebody on the outside, we always talk about you can't see the forest from the trees. If you're in it all the time, you feel like, I can't get out, I can't get out. And then as soon as you talk to somebody about it, say, well, have you thought about this? Or have you thought about this? Well, no, I really haven't. I've been too busy just going on day-to-day operations. And that's what happens to a lot of us, doesn't it?
Sure. And sometimes just that different perspective, like you're saying, and looking at market share, or giving you an idea of the potential size, of a market, for whatever you're looking at. They can help you with estimating the size of a market, and how much of a county might be spending on that, or how much is coming from inside or outside the county. Just having that information can give you direction on, what direction with the potential business you might be thinking about. And just having somebody work through that with you can be a tremendous help.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different programs that the Extension has, and we were just touching on just a couple of them. You can check out a lot more of them on the website. And, I'll be honest with you, Ray and I talked before we came on there. Both of us really, there's so many different things that are involved with it that to specialize in them, I don't know. I know they had a couple of get-togethers here not too long ago. Obviously, the banquet on last week, but they also have had some lectures, and you're going to have some soil possibly classes coming up. You're going to have some grassland classes coming up, different things. You can always find them on the Dent County Extension website, and you can always go on there and look for them. And you can look for them not only in Dent County, but Ray, you can find anything that's available in any county that the extension's offering on the website, can't you?
That's true, and you can drill down either by content area or by geographic area or both.
Or specialty that you're looking at.
Right, and so whatever your area of interest is, and you can also select by format if you want an in-person class or maybe you want a remote class. You can select by that criteria, and so they've really made it the navigation different. And we have had a recent update in our website, and so the intent is to make it the navigation easier,
simpler, yeah.
And that's an ongoing process, and but also more accessible. That's an important part. Just like we try to make our in-person programs more accessible, we try to make our electronic materials and our website, more accessible too. And I think they've made progress, with this latest website update. They've got feedback areas. If you find a section of the website that's not you think might not work
Be
like it should
user-friendly,
or could be better,
Yeah.
please let us know.
Yeah.
But they've put a lot of man hours into this update, and so I think it's an improvement, and we're always striving to make that better.
All the way from Master Gardener classes to different things that you might be interested in. As we mentioned, they still hold a lot of different workshops and things of that nature. They somewhere down the road they'll have the pesticide workshops. So just to say, I don't know exactly when they are right now because I didn't get a chance to really go on there and look for myself prior to us getting together here today. But they're there, and you can find them. And you can find them if you can't make it to the one in Dent County. There might be one in Marys County. There might be one in Crawford County. So you're always more than welcome to attend those as well. And you can get all the information right there on the website for the extension. So make it pretty simple. Just check that out. And if you have any questions, you can always call 729-3196. And if they don't have the answer, they can definitely guide you to the right person who does.
That's true, Stan.
It makes it easy.
Right.
Very good. Well, Ray, I don't have anything else unless you have something to finish up with.
Just a couple more things.
Sure.
Our community health survey is open through March 31. I would want to mention that. And then one other thing, some of you have met our interim director, Chad Higgins. There was a recent announcement where after a nationwide interview process, Chad applied for that and interviewed, and they took the interim tag off. So he is our new head for, it's not just called Extension, but he's our leader now, Chad Higgins. Some of you have met him, and so that's, I think, good for the organization. We don't have to go through the transition of a different leader. He's been our leader for some time, and so we can continue to go forward, and he's I think will do us well, and so if we happen to have an event, something where he's close, we'll announce that and give people that haven't met him yet the opportunity to meet him.
Haven't had that chance, but I have heard the name, and I look forward to meeting that man. Well, okay. Well, again, Ray, we thank you for coming in, spending some time with us, and getting us up to date on what our extension can offer us. Don't be afraid to use the extension all the way. If you have maybe you're out in your garden and you find some critter that you cannot identify, like a little small bug, put it in, get it in a baggie, take it up there, and they can send it off and let the entomology department up at the University of Missouri find out what that is, and hopefully it's not something that's going to be a problem in your garden. But I know one time I found a bug in my house. I had no idea where that thing came from, and it's not even from this area, but somehow it got here. And when I sent it to them, they said, don't be afraid of that one. It's not really does anything. It's just not from this area. It actually was from Alabama. But we had all those storms and probably rode in and somehow ended up in my house. And I said, I've never seen one with those kind of colors.
Wow.
So put it in a baggie, took it up there, and yeah, I got my answer back. So had some things, and they help you out with all kinds of different things. Horticulture, a lot of people will be starting to do their roses and things of that nature. If you see something weird, don't know what it is, take a picture. You can send it off, and they can get you an answer back as to what that probably is and what you may need to do. Maybe you might be short on some nutrients for your plants. They do a tremendous job. We got great people out there. Katie Kamler, who we have call in from the St. Jen office over there. She does a fantastic job. And we had our master gardeners here the other day. So you got a lot of different arms of that extension. Let them be of assistance to you. That's what they're there for. It's good stuff. And Ray, most of it's free.
That's right.
And again, if you have not been in the extension office, you need to pick up. They do have some pamphlets. I don't know how many more pamphlets you have anymore. It used to be tons, but
Still have a lot.
and I know that if people, and a lot of people like to read that so they can get a better idea, you can go up there and get those at the extension office, second floor of the Judicial Building. And you guys are open Monday through Thursday, correct?
Correct.
Very good.
8 to 4:30.
Ray, you have a fantastic rest of the day, sir, and thank you for coming in and spending time with us.
Thanks, Dan.
Ray Walden from our Dent County Extension. Keep it here, KSMO. We have some AP news and then statewide news in Missouri, and then Tabitha Stanford.